Notre Dame fans, can you believe it? This is senior week. Notre Dame playing Boston College, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Kickoff on NBC. So yeah, just 2 Monday press conferences left for this regular season. Time has certainly flown by, and Tyler Horka and I, Blue and Gold, are here to give the post rapid reaction from Freeman's presser today. Now, Freeman talked a good bit, Tyler, about the senior day, 25 players in total being honored. We don't have the list just yet. I think all eyes will be on that because he did kind of drop something interesting about if you are honored on senior day, what that means.
Yeah, basically, if you're walking on Saturday or running out, however that goes, in front of the whole team, by the way, which I thought was another cool nugget. Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, they're going to be out there clapping just like everybody else at Notre Dame Stadium. Usually, I guess they stay in the locker room and prepare for the game. So it'll be interesting to see how they react to that against Boston College. But if you're one of the 25 guys that's running out there, hearing your name and having all these people applaud for you, you're basically saying, hey, I'm out of here after this. And these are the 4th, 5th, 6th year guys, potential 6th year guys who could come back, but could also leave, could graduate, go to the NFL, maybe transfer. Marcus Freeman didn't say that, but obviously that's part of this. And Marcus Freeman has been very open with that and saying, hey, if you want to transfer, we will help you do it. Like think about the Jacob Lacey thing. Joe Wilkins just did it. If a guy comes to his room and says, to his office and says, hey, it's not working out for me here, I'm getting my degree, can I get out of here? Marcus Freeman has been, especially if they have that degree, more than helpful in that regard. So yeah, Saturday, the pregame is just as important as the game to me because it's not going to be definitive, but we're going to get a pretty good idea of 25 guys who are saying, hey, this is probably my last year in a Notre Dame uniform.
Yep, folks, please do hit the thumbs up on this video if you like what you see and hear, and please do consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so you can catch all of our content as well. And Tyler, before we started recording, we are kind of like, well, if someone like Cam Hart, for an example, a 4th-year guy who, could go to the NFL or transfer, if he walks and then says, you know what,
right.
I'm not so sure. Maybe I want to come back. We have a hard time believing that Notre Dame will be like, no, because you walked on senior day. You're not. I mean, Notre Dame's had guys enter the portal and come back. Think Houston Griffith. So, yeah, you're in agreement with me there, Tyler?
Yes, absolutely. This is not a one or the other, he walks, he's gone type of thing, but it does give you a pretty good idea of what to expect.
Yeah, for sure. At least we hope it's like that. I don't think Marcus Freeman gave like specifics on that, but yeah, we're going to just take a safe assumption there. Freeman was asked about starters playing special teams and how important that is, and Freeman kind of made a joke that a lot of the guys now went on that punt block team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because look at the guys who are blocking the punts. Isaiah Foskey with 2 of them in that game against who was that? UNLV? Is that going all the way back to UNLV? Jack Kaiser just did it this past weekend versus Navy. He's a starter on defense. Sometimes, I mean, he might as well be a starter on defense. We're going to talk about the linebacker rotation, but this past weekend he played like a starter on defense and started in a rover position. So you've got all these older, experienced guys who are making plays. And look, man, there's only 11 spots on the field at any given time, offense, defense, special teams. And if that's your only avenue to make plays, then you want to do it now. Guys like Foskey and Kaiser are making plays on defense, obviously, but that just sets an example for some of these younger guys that says, hey, man, this is my avenue to do it. And look at Prince Colley. He just played the most snaps he's ever played on defense, but early in the year, special teams warrior, because that was the only place that he could do it. So special teams, just as important as any phase in football for Notre Dame. And you see that because special teams is changing these ball games. You heard Marcus Freeman today speak glowingly about Brian Mason. Special teams is being drilled on in a way that it really should at a place like Notre Dame, because when you're struggling offensively, we saw the second half of that game. If you're making plays in special teams, usually that can kind of offset that and kind of counterbalance that. So special teams is important for this football team.
Yep. Notre Dame has seven blocks?
11 blocks
this season. The NCAA record is 11. Arkansas State did that in 1975. So 3 more games this season. Can Notre Dame
get need enough of those block games? Yeah.
5 blocks to break the record would be, I mean, you would need 2 games with 2 and then another game with 1. That's going to be pretty tough. That record by Arkansas State's probably never going to be broken.
The
That's
double digits is doable, though. Notre Dame could get to 10 if it just does what it's done in the past 5 games, which is block 1. So,
man, if I am a punt team, I am just bringing everyone in. I mean, it's just yeah, Notre Dame has been so good there. So yeah, let's go to the linebackers. I'm just going to feed a ton of information to you, Tyler. You can take this wherever you want. For folks, if you're watching this and you haven't watched the Mike Goolsby show from Sunday night, I would definitely consider watching it. He had a lot to say about the linebackers. He's especially critical of Marcus Freeman, who played 67 snaps on Saturday, which was a team high defensively. And I mean, I'm sure there's no way the Notre Dame offense was out there 67 snaps, so team high. Junior Tui Halamaka played 29 snaps. He started. You saw Prince Kali get 38 snaps. Jalen Sneed got in the game. Jack Kaiser started, but he's also dinged up. You can tell us more about that, Tyler. And then J.D. Bertrand, it's our understanding that he got hurt in warm-up. So what the heck is going on at the linebacker spot, Tyler?
Well, Bertrand came out and he wasn't dressed when I saw him for warm-ups anyway. So he must have got late in practice in the week or something. So he looked a little stiff when he was walking. Marcus Freeman said it's a groin injury. Those tend to be kind of, you don't know how they heal, so that's going to be interesting. But he did say that he practiced yesterday, should be back. He's a warrior. He's not going to miss extended time. Jack Kaiser got rolled up on third quarter, early fourth quarter maybe, and really didn't play much the rest of that ball game when Navy was trying to mount its comeback. So he's got an ankle sprain, as does Brandon Joseph. It sounds like both of those guys are going to be available this week, but kind of some of these nagging things that you get in the month of November, Notre Dame is dealing with them. As far as the linebackers go, Marcus Freeman, I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Why is everyone so hard on J.D. Bertrand? Well, because he's out there so much. And when you're out there that much, you're going to have your good plays. You're going to have your bad plays. So it's easy to scrutinize guys who are out there a lot. The bottom line is if Notre Dame's putting J.D. Bertrand out there as much as they are, Marcus Freeman kind of took the mantle from him this week against Navy. It's because they trust them and they're seniors and they make plays. Now, do they always make the tackle? No, but they make a lot of them. J.D. Bertrand leads the team in tackles. Marcus Freeman had a pretty good game. Jack Kaiser had 8 tackles. I thought he was phenomenal in that game. If he was able to play the rest of that game, I think he leads the team in tackles, probably somewhere 10, 11 tackles. So you got all these moving pieces at linebacker. I think people have been too hard on them. Now, I really respect Mike Goolsby because he played the position and he was team captain at Notre Dame, did a really good job. But, I mean, at the end of the day, is it really all these linebackers' fault? I don't think so. And then you look at guys like Junior Tui Halamaka, who you mentioned, true freshmen trying to play the triple offense. And he played 28 snaps. He graded the worst out of Pro Football Focus, out of the entire Notre Dame defense. But, I mean, this is a tough spot to put these guys in. I just think some of the criticism of the linebackers is a little unwarranted, but it kind of is what it is. You have to fault somebody, I guess, and it's not like teams are going over the top aerially on this Notre Dame defense. It's not like they're pounding them into submission on the ground. So at the end of the day, the linebackers are the ones who are supposed to be around the ball all the time, and when things aren't going right, it's easy to pinpoint them and say, hey, they need to be better.
I do think Bertrand playing would have been a huge boost for Notre Dame. So I had thought he got hurt in warm-ups because Notre Dame announced that there was no injuries. It was just Tobias and Brandon Joseph. And then like an hour later, like, oops, sorry. Bertrand's also in there. So I'm guessing he maybe tried to go, but just couldn't get healthy. And then as far as Leafal goes, 2 solo tackles. I mean, he had 8 total, but 6 assists and then just 2 solo tackles. I think you would have certainly expected a little bit more output from him. And then wrapping up, Tyler, quickly, for the last question on the press conference, Freeman was asked about kind of his experience growing as a coach on the fly, and quote, he said, "There is no book for this."
There is no book for this, and he's been through a lot, right? Unranked upsets to double-digit opponents. Upset of the number 4 team in the country, road wins against Syracuse and North Carolina, 2 pretty good teams. I mean, they took it to a North Carolina team that is 9-1. Like that gets more and more impressive to me every single week, that they just went there and kind of demolished them. And then you have games like this past weekend where you are demolishing an opponent and let them come back, and somehow a 22-point lead turns into a 3-point victory. So these are all things that he puts in his pocket and says, hey, I've experienced that now. I've done that. And at the end of the year, I think he's going to have pretty much everything, just about everything that he can say, all right, I'm going into 2023 with no curveballs. I might swing and miss a couple times, but it's not because I didn't see the curveball coming. I've seen the curveballs coming at this point.
This is kind of my thought on this. Is there books on how to be a head coach? I'm sure there actually are physical books.
Nick
But it's
Saban
kind of like being Tyler, it's like being a parent. You can't. You can read all the parenting books, but you don't know until you're actually a parent. How are you supposed to know? So I think it's the same thing for being the Notre Dame head football coach. So at least that's my take.
Good point.
Every once in a while, Singer's got a good one. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, go to blueandgold.com. Promo is $10, gets you access through the start of next football season. So please do check it out. Appreciate everyone for watching, and we'll catch you next time.